Now your nationals recap. Going back to Wednesday, there was 53 cars entered. Your top qualifier, with the 200 points, 500 points is the best score you can get, was Ian Matson at 15,165. But a lot of the top guys did not make it out of their heat races. And going back to the heat races, of course, 5 heats, top 4 directly A. Winning heat race 1 was local boy Jamie Ball. Second, Austin McCarl. Third, Brett Marks. And fourth, was the highest qualifier to make it out of Heat 1 was Paul McMahon. Heat 2, the Wild Child, Jack Hunchild, won the heat. Second, and another highest qualifier, was Aaron Reitzel. Third, James McFadden. Fourth and final transfer, Spencer Baston. Heat race number 3, same was deal. Wayne Johnson picking up the heat race. Second, Scotty Thiel. Third, Mark Downmeyer. Fourth and final transfer, Sheldon Hanschild. Heat race number 4, Tasker Phillips was your winner. Second, Jess Lindell. Third went to Justin Peck. Fourth and final transfer, another high qualified car, or no, not as high, with Paige Polyak. Fifth and final heat race of the night, your winner was Tanner Thorson. Second, Carson McCarl. Third was Skylar G, a high qualifier. Fourth and final transfer to Trey Starks. Then we went to the C, which was 10 laps, took the top 4 to the back of the B. Your winner was Freddie Raymer. Second, Jake Beback. Third, Rusty Hickman. Fourth and final transfer, Matt Morrow. And then getting upside down was Zach Hampton. Just got a little too high and got upside down. Then we went to the loaded B main. 12 laps, only 4 drivers to transfer. We'll tell you who made it. Your winner was Tim Kading driving the Jason Sides number 7S. Gio Selzy was second. Third, your quick qualifier, Ian Matson. Fourth and final transfer was Donnie Schatz. Notables missing: Danny Dietrich, Kyle Larson, Kerry Matson, Brady Bacon, Dominic Selzy, Sammy Swindell, Logan Schuhart. Just some of the notables that did not make the feature that night. Then when it came to the feature, a surprise winner and a first career winner here at the Knoxville Raceway was Trey Starks. Second, James McFadden. Third, Sheldon Hanschild. Fourth, Mark Doubtmeyer. And fifth to Aaron Reitzel. And then when the points wrapped up, your leader was Doubtmeyer 1-4. Starks led the rest of the way. Schatz was the hard charger. Then when the points came out, Aaron Reitzel clearly led the way with 487. Tim Kading was third. Fourth was Paul McMahon. Fifth, Brett Marks, and fifth was Trey Starks. We'll go to Thursday night. 56 cars signed in, but really the track never moved up on Wednesday night. Your quick qualifier and the only best part of the night was Shane Stewart at 15,679. And then that was the best of Stewart's night. There were 6 cars that did not make the heat races that went to the C-Main automatically. Heat races. And this was the best part of Shane Stewart's night because he didn't do. Then in the heat race, he got upside down and ended his night. Your transfers, of course, 10 laps was the distance in the heats. Your winner was Jason Sides. Second, Lance Deweese. Third, Craig Kinzer. Fourth and final transfer, Corey Eliason. Heat race number 2, Harley White won. Then it's Rico Abreu, Tyler Courtney, and Carson Macedo. Your third heat race went to Brock Zierfoss. Thomas Kennedy was second. Third, Brooke Tadnell. Fourth, the law firm Parker Price Miller. Heat race number 4 went to Cy Lynch. David Gravel was second. Mason Daniel third. And fourth to Clint Gardner. Heat Race 5 was Brad Sweet, Joey Saldana, Jason Sowalt, and Matt Jewell. Then we came back with our C main, which was 10 laps. We knew there were several scratches in it, but the biggest was Shane Stewart. Your winner was Bill Baylog. Second, Greg Wilson. Third Willie Croft. Fourth and final transfer Chad Kavanaugh. Then we went to the B main, which we took 4 to the back of the A. And when that was done, Tim Schaefer won. Darren Pittman was third. Third was Scott Bogusky, and fourth Jacob Allen. Notables that did not transfer was T-Mac, Terry McCarl, Brian Brown, and then in the A main, it was David Gravel picking up the win. Gravel led. Zerfoss led 1-7. Gravel led lap 8. Zerfoss 9. And Gravel the rest of the way. The hard charger was Schaefer. Then we go to the big night, to Friday night, to lock in the top 4 finishers. To lock you in, and it also sets up the lineup. They did split qualifying because there were 78 cars. So Group 1 qualifying went to Cy Lynch as 16,151. Group 2, Kerry Matson was a quick qualifier, 16,292. It had set up your heat races. Group 1 was heat races 1 through 3. And Group 2 was heat races 4 through 6. This time it only took 3 to the main. The Envoy, of course, was 4. Group 1, heat race 1 went to Brian Brown. Second, Justin Henderson. Third, to Shane Stewart. Heat race 2, Travis Riley won it. Sammy Swindell second. Third, Dominic Selzy. And then the big news out of heat race number 2, Danny Dietrich was trying to go for the final transfer spot, hit the wall in turn 2, and below the tire and got upside down hard. Heat race number 3, Hunter Scherberger winner. Second, Austin McCarl. Third, Spencer Baston. Heat race 4 overall was Kerry Madsen winning it. Logan Stewart second, and Tyler Courtney was third. Heat race 5 went to Thomas Kennedy. Bill Baylog was second. Third, Josh Bachman. And heat race 6 was a wild one. Paige Polyak had a bad heat race, spun, and then Derek Hagar got collected. Jack Conshaw tried to avoid. Then Paige Polyak got involved and got upside down. But your winner was Craig Kinzer. Second, Lynn Jeffrey. Third, Cale Thomas. Then we went to the C main, which took 8 cars, 4 to each B. Your winner was Chris Martin. Second, AJ Muller. Third, Rusty Hickman. Fourth, Willie Croft. Fifth, Greg Wilson. Sixth, Robbie Pergers. Seventh, Ryan Roberts. And eighth, Joey Mohan. Then we went to the B main, and the first B main was basically hard to get going. Ended up your top 3 that transferred was Terry McCarl winning it. Second, Sam Hayford. Third, Chad Kavanaugh. Your B main number 2, your winner was Carson McCarl. Second, Skylar Praska. Third, Tasker Phillips. Then we went to the A main, which was 25 laps, locked in 21st through 24th in the A main. Your winner was Kerry Matson. Second, Logan Short. Third, Shane Stewart. Fourth was Dominic Selzy. Notables that were going to be deep in the field Saturday, that was in the A main: Sammy Swindell, Austin McCarl, Terry McCarl, and others. Brian Brown. Kerry Matson led 1 through 25. Spencer Basin was the hard charger. And in the big race was Saturday. We started out with the E main. Top 6 went to the back of the D. Jason Sides easily took that victory, with Joey Mohan second, third Mason Daniel, fourth Kevin Thomas, fifth Harley White, and sixth Caleb Helms. Then up next was the 12-lap D. Took 4 to the back of the C, with your winner was Davey Haskins, second Rusty Hickman, third Craig Delansky, and fourth Shane Golovic. The C main took 4 to the back of the B. That was 15 laps. Your winner was Tyler Cordy, second Cal Thomas, third Brian Brown, fourth and final transfer Carson McCarl. Marcus Dumsney got upside down hard in that race. The B main, which took the final 4 starters to the A main, positions 17th through 20th. Gio Selzy won that. Donnie Schott second, third James McFadden. Fourth and final transfer was Rico Abreu. Your A main was 50 laps with the pit stop at 25. Your winner was David Gravel in the Jason Johnson number 41. Second, from 22nd, would be your hard charger was Logan Schuhart. Third was Darren Pittman. Fourth, Tim Kading, and fifth, Aaron Reitzel. Notables: Brad Sweet was sixth, Donnie Schatz ninth. Rico was 22nd, 23rd, Lance DeWeese. And then some of the prize money from it was Reitzel led lap 1, Saldana 2 to 3, Reitzel 4 through 13, Gravel 14 through 50. Schuhart won the hard charger. The pole setter was Aaron Reitzel, got 2,000, and the crew chief of the Nationals was Phil Dietz. Bunch of other awards were on the line too during it. Like best appearing car, the trunk bar bonus was in the D main, and that went to Brooke Tatnall with $1,175 from the trunk bar. In the C main, $100 from Big River Garage Doors went to Linton Jeffrey. And then we mentioned some of the others. My final thought: my Gravel won best pit crew, and also the best appearing car. My best appearing car that was on the list was Bobby Meintzer, number 15M, with his. But 2 years ago at the Nationals, 2016, I think. Yeah, the year it was Jason Johnson won it. But last year, I got to give Bobby Johnson credit here. Bobby Johnson, after her husband died last year, could have said, the team's going to fold. We're not going to race again. But that lady has more perseverance than you ever think. And that team is winning races. Jeff Gordon was here. in Victory Lane. It was a sight like 2016. People just happy. And then the biggest news this week, Exalta's looking at bringing that sponsorship maybe next year. Thanks for Bill Wright being a part of the show and listening to this show. Our Twitter handle, look us up at Dirt Racing Podcast, is the Twitter handle. Thanks for listening. Hello and welcome to the Dirt Racing Podcast. I have a special guest, Bill Wright, with the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum, plus with the Knoxville Races. Thanks, Bill, for joining us.
You're welcome, Marshall. Thanks for calling me special.
Anyways, what do you do as your job here at the Hall of Fame?
Well, I'm the museum coordinator here, so I'm responsible for all the exhibits and all the cars that come in and out of the museum. It's pretty much the perfect job for me. We try to get 20, 25 different cars every summer. In addition, we have our National Sprint Car Pole Awards, our North American Pole Awards that we hand out every year, and we announce those at the Chili Bowl. Then, of course, we have our inductions as well. And so people ask what we do all winter, and that's pretty much getting ready for the next summer, kind of like race teams do.
Okay. And then I know you work, there's all the results over across the way.
Yeah, at the racetrack. I've been the editor of the website for several years now, probably, 12 years maybe, 12, 13 years now. And, of course, on race nights, I do the race reporting. I do all the writing, and I do the database, make sure all the cars are in the database for our computers, and I do all the points and those types of things, and anything else that they might need over there in the press box. Once in a while, I announce if Tony's going.
And you also announced with the Sprint Invaders, a local group.
Yeah, I think I'm in my 11th or 12th year of being the announcer for the Sprint Invaders. The last few years, it's been good to co-announce with Jeff Brogue. That's been a lot of fun, and so we're looking forward to that. Of course, this weekend's a big weekend for the Sprint Invaders. 2000 to win Friday night in Donaldson at Lee County Speedway, and 2000 Saturday night in Burlington.
Mm-hmm.
So, in addition to that, I have my website. It's called openwheel101.com. And we raise money and we pay out a point fund each year for the 410 drivers. This will be our third year doing that, and a lot of drivers are trying to dethrone Kerry Madsen, but it's pretty tough right now. He's leading the points again. He's won the first two of those, but we give out points to any 410 shows that are really within a 6-7 state area around here, whether it's an outlaw race or a MOA race or an IRA race. We give points out for that. So if anybody wants to contribute to that point fund, we'd like it to raise every year and give a little more money. We've also given, some bonus money at different races around the area. For quick time here at Knoxville, we did all the quick times in July and gave $100 to the 410 quick timers here. We've also sponsored races with the Nebraska 360s. We've even been lap sponsors out for the Empire Super Sprints and the Patriot Group out in New York. And in anywhere else, we did the MOA race down in Donaldson. Any other races that are around, we try to add a little money into those as well.
How long have you been coming to Knoxville?
That's a good question. My first race was in 1977, and my parents were not race fans at all, and I was just a little tyke. But Doug Wolfgang had won 10 races in a row right now, and that car just happens to be downstairs in the museum right now, in the Trossel garage. But he had won 10 races in a row, and I had never heard anybody booed so loudly in my young life as they booed Doug Wolfgang because he had won 10 in a row. Well, there were wooden bleachers back then. It held, I don't know, maybe 4,000 by then. And they were kind of shaking, and everybody was booing. And then Lloyd Beckman ended up beating him that night, and the place went wild. And Lloyd Beckman was doing cartwheels down the front stretch. And I was hooked. Even though my parents weren't race fans at all, they thought Wolfgang was a cool name, and that's the only reason they came. And so they brought me to the races, and I was hooked. So then I had to catch rides or anything I could to get to the races. Of course, my parents would bring me once in a while, but I'd have to have friends or someone like that to bring me to the races. So that was pretty good. So that's how I got my start in loving the sprint cars.
Yeah, and I love them too.
Yeah. What was your first race?
probably before I was a kid,
Yeah,
at least 86.
yeah. Was that at Oskaloosa or where was it?
Here,
Was it here? Okay.
probably my mother's stomach.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of changes to this place.
Yep, I did too. You know, when the internet came about, that kind of changed my life too
Yeah.
because, you know, that was probably in the mid '90s, and I would be in the crowd in the stands, and I would come home and I'd write some results, and I put it on a message board that was out in Pennsylvania. Well, a guy named Alan Holland was starting this website called hoseheads.com, and he said, "I'm thinking about putting different uh, results from different areas on my website," and I thought that was a good idea. So I actually ended up being the first correspondent that Alan Holland had on there, and I remained anonymous. I just was Bill W. back then, and nobody knew who I was. Well, after a few years, when I was kind of critical of things, Ralph Capitani said, "Are you that Bill W. guy?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "I've been wanting to talk to you for a while." And so he brought me in his office and he said, "You know, I agree with most of the stuff you say, and unfortunately, the Fair Board does too." So you know, um, so anyway, we started getting a friendship, and then Kathy and Perry Bell ended up hiring me to do writing for Dirt Digest, and I think I wrote for just about every free paper, weekly paper we used to have here, and I thought it was the greatest thing to get into the races free. But that kind of launched me into, you know, writing for Flat Out, and now I write for Speed Sport and Dirt Monthly, and all those sorts of things, and that was really a good thing for me to get hooked up with Perry and Kathy because and Alan Holland because then people started noticing my writing and things like that. It wasn't anything that I ever planned. I always had a full-time job, but it turned into a lot of opportunities for me. Eventually into broadcasting and announcing too. Even got to do a show or two on the Speed Channel as a color analyst, which was really not really my cup of tea. I didn't really enjoy it that much, especially when they did post production. So, and you did all your talking afterwards. You could look like an expert, but the race was already over, so it wasn't live. But I had a lot of fun back in the day, like working with Brad Doty and Ralph Shaheen as their spotter. Like I'd sit between them while they did the broadcast, and I'd say, "This is the way you pronounce Bobby Meintzer. This is, you know, this person's up from 22nd to 4th, you know, or things like that that would bring to their attention." So that was fun too, working behind the scenes. So got a lot of opportunities from Knoxville Raceway, but the biggest one I ever got was the job I have now at the museum, which is really awesome.
Yeah. Going back, what's the big announcement on the Nationals? Upping the purse.
Yes, they made the announcement that the 60th Nationals next year is going to pay $1,000 for each lap led. So the 50 laps, if someone would happen to lead from start to finish, could pay $200,000, which would tie the greatest winning share that anybody got in a sprint car race with Jack Hodgeshield back in 2003 from Old Farm Village.
I think back in the day, it used to be $30, wasn't it?
What's that?
To lead a lap.
Was it? Yeah, it could have been. You know, and you know, different lap sponsors over the years, and that's what's cool about the Nationals this year. I thought was they had a lot of people that came in and said, "I want to get bonus money for this and bonus money for that," and that's kind of neat. You know, for a few years they didn't even have a best appearing car because A, it was kind of rigged because of the popularity contest, and B, they didn't have the sponsorship to pay for it for some of those years. And even when they did, a lot of times the sponsors didn't pay. So so and some people didn't get paid.
And it's always Nationals. It's interesting to see who's first night out, what cars or what.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. The paint jobs and things like that they come up with every year. What was your favorite one this year?
One off the list. I was impressed with Bobby Meintzer's.
Yeah, I liked it a lot.
That nobody was talking about it.
No, I think it ended up second place, right?
I don't remember.
Second or third place.
Yeah.
So Chris Martin's was either second or third. I can't remember which order.
I just know.
Yeah, but I know those two were the top three, and they got a little cash for it. So that's good to see a couple local guys get the money too.
And it's just interesting because you never think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Who can come up with what?
Yeah, absolutely. And you never know what their idea is going to be. You know, a few years ago when Bob Weave did his Wild West theme, that was pretty cool. You know, and nobody expected him to do something like that. Nobody knows if he's going to enter, first of all, and then
anymore.
Then he comes and he has a cool job. So that was pretty neat when he did that a few years ago.
Next week, the final race. It's hard to believe, except for the sprint cars.
Yeah, the final race at Knoxville for sprint car, their season championship night. The 360s are going to be real interesting because they got two features. So
the one clear back in June
22nd. So that's going to, two features going to decide the season championship there. So it's still pretty close.
And if Brownie can still have his luck weekly, unlike the Nationals.
Yeah. But pretty much all he has to do is show up, though. I mean, he's pretty good. He looks pretty good right now. But that other one will be interesting. I think Matthew Stelzer pretty much is in good shape too.
I had him written 1st of July, pretty much.
Yeah. When he ripped off how many straight? 4 straight to begin the year, or whatever. 4 or 5.
Was a bunch.
Yeah. So, I think he's looking good for another championship. So,
and then the other show that's interesting, and it's starting to get a big deal, is the Late Mall.
Yeah,
around here.
Yep, the second weekend in September for 3 nights.
Yeah, plus the Invitational race. I can't think.
Last year was the Malvern Bank Series.
They're coming back.
They're coming back.
As I've seen 18 cars so far.
So that was a good show last year too that they put on.
Yeah.
A nice little diversion. When they just run CBA on Saturday night, they need a little something else.
Yeah.
So that's what they do. Way back at the first one, I don't know if you remember that, but they had the 305, kind of had a 305 national sort of thing that Clint Garner.
Yeah, a couple years later, the first one had a D, I think, and so on.
Yeah. So.
But that's slowly becoming its own little thing in the towns.
Yeah, for sure. So that's a lot of fun. So, there's a lot of racing to go on still.
Yeah.
We have here at the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame Museum, we have our new raffle car that we'll be giving away in December of 2020.
Yep.
Our Speedway Motors EMI car. And so if people want information on that, I think it's sprintcarraffle.net they can go to. And that car will be heading out to California here in a couple of weeks with Lacey and Jeremy, her husband, will head out there with the raffle car, and they'll be doing that out at Calistoga for the Vermeil Classic. They'll be at the Gold Cup, of course, at Chico, and they'll also be at Kyle Larson's race at Cycle Land. And when they come back, they'll be about ready to head out to the National Open in Pennsylvania. So we also have a lot of awards going out. I'm going to head out to the Tuscarora 50 in Pennsylvania and hopefully be able to give out a couple of awards out there. Tried it last year and it rained, but we'll try it again this year. We'll do that. The BC 39 is coming up on a Wednesday, Thursday, so hopefully make it there as well. So a lot of racing coming up for sure.
But I just added Sprint Invaders final weekend.
Yeah, the fall. What do they call it? The fall hall.
Yeah, the fall hall
is September 27th and 28th this year.
And ASCS big race down there. If you've never been to a race down there, you better go.
Yeah, that's going to be a big one because that's co-sanctioned with the ASCS and the Sprint Invaders on August 30th, Friday. Right?
Yeah, and then the non-wing Saturday.
And the non-wing, the Iowa Sprint Car League, right, is coming in, and the War.
Yep.
So that'll be good. So that's a big weekend for Burlington.
And then talking about next year is the non-wing nationals coming back.
Yeah.
Because that paid.
Rumor has it's going to be a week later. So
because of the BC 39s moving, I've heard.
Well, yeah, and it's going to be the week before Sprint Week for Indiana, so we might see more West Coast cars there, which would be interesting. We had over 50 cars this year, and it was a great show, but there might even be more next year. We'll have to see.
And you got the best of both.
Yeah.
So if you're not a non-wing fan, you still got your
410s on Saturday and your 360s on Friday.
Which it kind of helped guys tuning up for nationals right then and there.
Well, absolutely. We had great car counts both nights. A little surprised we didn't have any double duty. I thought we might have maybe a Kevin Thomas Jr. or a Courtney or a Brake Bacon,
but maybe next year.
Yep. They all did okay during the nationals when they came in with their wings, but maybe a few more laps would help them. So we'll see.
Next year, I can't believe it's 60 years of the Nationals.
Yeah, well, you and me weren't here for the first one.
I know.
It's hard for us to remember
no, but just thinking 10 years ago, the 50th.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it was 10 years ago.
And then the other question I want to bring up, the first 360 Nationals, because you've been here for most of them.
I've been here for all those.
And I've been around for most of them.
Yeah. I was just talking to Brian Paulus last week. He was racing with the 410s. I said, I think the first time you were here was the first 360 Nationals. And he brought his 358 out and raced the 360 Nationals. So he said, yeah, I've been here racing here 29 years. I said, yeah, that seems like a long time. But he's about the same age as me.
But that's growing too.
Oh, yeah.
And then especially the week moving it the week before kind of helped it too.
Yeah, it helped it a lot. I was really breathed in.
It used to be the first two was the week after.
It really breathed some life into that race, I think. And our Saturday crowd this year was really, really big for that. So, and I think it was good crowds overall here for the Nationals. We were so blessed with the weather,
Normally it's hot.
Yeah. Maybe a few less people even come in the museum when it's nice weather. When it's hot, they come in for the air conditioning.
Yeah, but there's so much to do during Nationals.
There's a lot. It's a lot going on all the time. If nobody's been here, you need to come out and see it.
Or watch the race even this year. I know Dirt Vision has the free account, and it's already up.
Yeah. That's good, but it's not near as good as being there. That's for sure.
It is if you missed it, but
you
can't beat
live. You can't watch Logan Schuchart come 22nd to second on TV.
No, I don't think they even got that. All of a sudden, I seen him coming. I'm going.
Yeah, but if you were there live, you could watch him the whole time.
Yeah.
So
I can't think of anything else at this moment. We'd like to thank you for joining us.
All right. Thank you very much, Marshall. I'm honored to be your special guest today. Your first guest.
Yeah. Only on the second episode.
Good luck with the dirt. What's it called?
The Dirt Racing Podcast.
The Dirt Racing Podcast.
And then I'm thinking this winter, going through my tape collection, having up on the Twitter poll, we go review some of the old races.
Yeah, that'd be good. Have me back sometime.
Yeah, I will.
We'll talk about some old races. We'll get you some of your DVDs here at the Hall of Fame that you're wanting from the CRA shows.
Yeah.
Back in the early 90s. So we'll get you some of those and we'll talk about those. How about that?
Yep.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks. Welcome to the Dirt Racing Podcast. The episode we recap the 9th Annual Nationals. Sit down with Billy at the National Sprint Call.